Hello everyone, I'm Nalu from your Robotics mentor and you're watching Coding Blocks Junior. So at last, after so long, we're back again. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna do today. So today we are planning to actually work on two different modules, which are LDR and relay, which actually comes under advanced robotics. Not specifically advanced, I would say, but yeah, it's good thing to do work actually on it. So that's our plan for today. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about something before moving forward. So I think about 2-3 more classes are left for robotics basics, and then we move forward to advanced, or maybe let's see how things plan goes. So good evening, hello everyone. So I can my messages. Hey, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Okay, guys. So I think we're ready for start to this session. Let's see something before moving forward. So let's talk about two different modules which we already discussed before, and then we're talking about one new module which we're going to talk about today, which is called LDR, light dependent resistor. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Okay, so we have already talked about IR sensors, right? So there's like something like this. Sorry, yeah, cool. Whatever. Okay, so something like this were my IR sensors. Okay, oh yeah, I forgot the drum roll. Alexa, drum roll, please.
Okay.
Cool. Good drum roll as well today. Thank you, Alexa.
Anytime.
Okay, so that was our IR sensor, right? So IR sensor. Now moving forward, we already had talked about our ultrasonic sensor like this, right? So this was my ultrasonic sensor, my IR sensor. Now we are going to talk about something more, something much better, something bigger. The idea behind that is what we call it. Yeah, I'm talking about that. Chetan will just let in a minute. So now we are talking about LDR. Full form of LDR is light dependent resistor. That is called full form of LDR. It's called light dependent resistor. Okay, so what exactly does that mean from the book core and basics? Like, what is light dependent resistor? So we have already talked about resistors, like every one of us were talking about and discussing about. So we already know what is resistors, right? Weird looking thing which is like having like this, right? So we have already discussed about something like this in the first class, right? Something like this. This was a resistor, right? So it had a fix. Okay, Ujjwal, welcome. Actually, Ujjwal, I've not started anything much yet. I've just talked about what are IR sensors. We already talked about that. What are ultrasonic sensors, right? That's what we have talked about. Now we're talking about what LDR is. It's called light dependent resistor. So let me write it down. So for someone who comes late. Okay, so let's say, all right, it's called. All right, so light resistor. Okay, guys. So, okay, so one is asking senses light, not actually senses light. So this is what resistor was, right? It was about like 20 ohm or 10 ohm, or we can go about like 100 kilo ohm. So we had many different values of our resistor, right? Now we're moving forward with. We will talk about LDR, which is light dependent resistor. So how does it differ from everything else, and what exactly the core basics of that thing? So your light dependent resistor basically is a resistor which changes its value according to the light. So think of something like this. So when we have a resistor, right? Either we have one resistor with 20 ohm or 10 ohm, maybe 100 kilo ohm. So these all resistors were there with us, right? When we have an LDR, so this is my LDR, like this is how it looks. So this was my LDR. Its value is proportional to the light falling on it. So it gets the light, okay. and the value of the resistor depends of how much lights actually fall on it. The more the light falls, the value comes lower or above depending upon which type of LDR is it. But that's a dependable thing. But point is, it's depending upon the intensity of the light which is falling on it. So it is a light dependent resistor, right? So let's say light dependent resistor. Okay, I already did it, so I'm writing it again. So let's say something like this. For example, what do you call it? Tube light may be falling on it. So we have about 10 ohms. This is not the real values. I'm just giving a like weird values just for the understanding of it. So if we go 10 ohms, it's showing about like 10. Okay, let's take about 100 ohms. Like the more the light it is, the more the value, or maybe less the light, less the value, depending upon which type of is it, like NP, you know, like we have different like diodes and that sort. So we're not talking about the core basics of how it's developed, but the idea behind LDR, it's as simple as that. The more the light falls, depends upon what it is about, the value decreases or increases depending on which resistor we are using. And we will be fine with one resistor for today. One resistor will fine for today. No worries on that side. Okay, so this was the idea behind LDR, light dependent resistor. So you guys must have seen, what do you call it? You have street lights which automatically switches on as soon as your night begins, right? When night begins, your light switch on. You have seen the what do you call it? Lights in many hotels as well. How they used to work. For example, we have a daylight, so we have an outdoor light. So let's talk about the street lamps for a while. So this is something like a street lamp, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, this is my street lamp. Okay, this is my street lamp, like this. Okay, so we used to, now street lamp is just coming with something on the top of it like this. It's your solar panel thing, but also they had a sensor right over here, like yeah. So it's a sensor right over here. This is your LDR. So in the daytime, when we have the sun, we can actually predict. Okay, we have the sun. We know, okay, this is the sun. In that case, we can predict that, okay, it's a daytime. The light should not be switched on because these are your solar panels, light. So we also store some energy through it, like this for a battery. So when we switch on light 24/7, it will lose a lot of energy and we will waste a lot of energy. Energy is expensive. It's the most expensive thing today in these days. So not expensive, but yeah, energy resource is limited and stuff like that. So let's not talk about that. But point is, it's limited. So we use LDR in that case. So it's a light dependent resistor. The working and the what we see is exactly the same as IR sensor. You would say, okay, so IR sensor में भी same काम हो रहा था कि कुछ अंधेरा मतलब हम कर रहे थे, बंद कर रहे थे, उसके आगे कुछ तो हो रहा था. But they have different usage and different functionality altogether. So LDR sensor which we have planned to use is a digital LDR, right? It's a digital one. So let's talk about analog and digital for a while, and then we'll see how it works for you. So today we have a digital sensor with it. So how that it differs from anything else. So this is a sensor we have, guys, right? Everyone have this type of a sensor with you guys. So on the top of it, you see like over here, right over here on the top, this is your LDR, the small one. This little part over here is your LDR. Everything else is just a module which has been developed to make it happen, make it work, right? So let's say something like this. So we have a small little tip on it like this. Okay, so we got something like this. So this is what you guys have. If I'm not wrong, let me try it a bit. You got one IC over here, your potentiometer. Okay, you got 3 pins over here as well. Like that's all it's about. So this thing over here is your LDR. Everything else is nothing but just a circuit which has been developed to convert the values which are getting from LDR to actually values which Arduino can read. Arduino can also read directly from LDR, that's not a problem. But I would say to actually, for us to make it simpler for us to use it further. Because what exactly the LDR does in this case? Okay, so what LDR does in this case? For example, let's say I got a doubt over here. Let's see that. But sir, what will happen if someone pointed like towards the LDR of the street? It will get off. So I guess it better switch off. Right. So clock is also one possible way, but still clock. Yeah, you can do it via clock also. And that's a smart idea. I never thought of it actually. I'm not like got it in my mind. But there's a problem with clocks. Sometimes the day gets later on, begin later on. Sometimes it gets early, so it depends on that. Let's talk about street lamp. For example, you have your own room. We also make a project called night lamp project. In that, when you switch off your lights, all the lights goes off, your lamp switch on for the sleeping part. Okay. So we're going to make that project as well, which is called a night lamp project, right, Chetan? So we'll make it for your home itself. But yes, that's right. We can work on time, but depending upon which day it is, some days are longer, some days are shorter. It will be a lot of chaos to set all the times for all the days to make it more efficient. If someone points a light, so it does not. So there are multiple LDRs within the market. So for example, this one is much simpler. This much simpler, which works on simple light which you have in our rooms. But the LDRs which you used in those street lamps or stuff like that, they were more. They need more intensity of light to actually make it change happen. Okay, so that's about it. So this is LDR. This is a whole circuit. So this is not your LDR part. This is your LDR part. That's what you guys need to understand. Now moving forward, what happens is when the light falls on it. Okay, so let me draw the light thing maybe. For example, like this. So for example, this is the light which is falling on it. Okay, this is the light which falls on it. So what happens is these two like things like here changes the value. So resistance either increases or decreases depending on which LDR it is. So this actually changes the value altogether, and that's something important. So when it changes the value, you need to find a way to actually capture that value. So you can also directly read it from Arduino, but in this case, if you read it from Arduino, you need to use analog pins. When we have not actually have ever talked about analog pins, we have not discussed about analog pins because that's a topic for another day. But there are also analog pins which are available, which we can actually work on. So it becomes really cumbersome and complicated to actually work on analog pins, and then you have to set values, which depends and changes according to the environment. A lot of factors actually take into consideration when working with analog values. Whereas in case of digital values, things become much simpler. It's one or zero, like as simple as that. We don't have to play with a lot of numbers altogether. So this is all about LDR. There's one more thing before moving forward with LDR of course, is that this is what LDR is. We get 1 0, we get values over here, outputs and stuff like that. The basic use of LDRs which we see in everyday life is our house. So for example, someone is having what do you call it? Someone is having someone is having a night lamp in their home. Okay, so when lights goes off, the lamp switches on. We do have these kind of things right now with us. It's also useful when we need to capture something, capture a light, we need to get an event out of something. Those who are working on app dev must know what event is. When you want to get a particular information, okay, this is what's happening and we need it right now. That's what sensor is important for. We got it out. So I was thinking, why can't we make ultrasonic LDR wire sensor on our own? We'll get to know more. Then let's try it out. So I was thinking, watching, why can't we? Okay, so yes, we can make our own sensor. That's not a problem at all. But again, you will get bored because you all never like theory. When I talk about theory, people get bored and stuff like that. So when I talk about making your own sensor, you will see, oh, it's difficult, and most of people will drop the views. So that's one thing. Yeah, camera auto flash can be one of the ways. Yeah, camera auto flash can be one of the ways. When we look about camera auto flash, that can be used for that part. That's awesome. That's nice as well. When light goes dim and suddenly the phone needs more light, we know that phone needs, a camera needs more light, and we need to give a flash. So these are multiple use cases of an LDR. Got it? Like, has everyone got clear what LDR is from the core basics? Like, this is what LDR is about. LDR. Yeah, but what do we want to make? We have made all of this possible. If you want to repeat our things or maybe something new, just let me know on the Discord channel. I will see to it what you guys want me to make, and we will look forward to it. Okay, fine. There's something you want to make. We will try how to build it with the components we have. But there are a lot of more components which are required for the robotics. We don't have all the things. We have extremely limited components, so we will see to that. Cool. Now, most of you guys will read about LDR in your maybe class 12th or in college. But that's never we have work on practical. Today we are doing practical. That's a cool thing. So that's all about LDR. Now let's move forward and talk about relay, and then we will see both of them together. That's the right way to do it. Talk about relay. Okay. So when I always talk about relay, people are like, "Oh, what's a relay? What's about relay? Relay is like a buzzword which is coming in. It's an old thing. It's not a new thing actually. It's an extremely old thing. there are multiple meanings of relays, and we really get confused which relays you're talking about or what actually use of it, why we need a relay first of all, and stuff like that. So let me clear all the doubts for that. Relay for, okay, let's give you guys an example for something. Let's say I have AC in my room, right? So I have AC in my room. So this is my AC. I have a window AC in my room. Okay. So this is my AC I have in my room. Okay. So I have a wire coming out of it. So it's a big wire which is coming out of it. It's going to main power plug and stuff like that. So now someone says, okay, Bhaiya, what if I want to control this AC using Arduino? Right? We all have Arduino with us. So now you want to say, okay, yeah, Bhaiya, mere paas sab kuch hai. I have everything connected to my PC, and I want to control this whole AC thing with using Arduino. I was like, okay, cool. So how you gonna do it? Arduino की तो बहुत पतली पतली छोटी-छोटी cables होती है, like, right? So we have cables like this in Arduino, like small little cables. Sorry. So we have like small things. So how much current Arduino can actually capture? It cannot much. So those who remember the second lecture I talked about AC versus DC, right? So in case of my computers, like sorry, in case of my ACs, like this ones, we use AC current. Right? I told you guys never to play with AC, and I'm still sticking up to it. Don't play with AC. No case at all. Like zero possibilities. Never play with AC. So when we are also working on AC current in the next class, we're not talking about AC in this class. I want you guys to actually maybe ask your parents to sit with you guys when you're working on it, and be extremely cautious while working with AC, because AC is extremely dangerous. I've never talked about being dangerous in case of Arduinos or something. Like maybe ask your parents to just sit next to you so you don't make a mistakes. I will let you know all the single steps which are required and all the care you have to take so you don't get something weird out of it. But I would still recommend, if you are too small, for example, maybe the lectures for like 5th to 12th. So I would say students in 5th to 8th class should sit next to with your parents. Maybe ask them to sit next to you. So that would be a nice thing to do. I would recommend that personally. That please ask your parents to be next to you when you're working with AC. AC is dangerous, guys. It's alternating current with 220 volts. It can be dangerous if not work with them properly. So AC current is dangerous. Okay, guys. Now coming back to it, it's all enough about the warning. We'll talk about back to the AC thing. Okay, so now we want to. Okay, now the AC thing. This is the air condition. Air condition. Okay, the AC. This I'm talking about is alternating current. Alternating current. Okay, so these are two different ACs. Don't get confused with it. Okay, so in case of your relays, I guess many of you have this kind of relay, if I'm not sure, right? Some of you might have the dual relay as well. I got some messages with dual relay. Yes, that's right, Usual. This is the class I talked about AC. I was extremely cautious that no play with ACs. Yes, exactly, Usual. Okay, guys. So let's move forward. So this is what we have right over here. Yeah. So for example, we got Arduino, we got our AC. Now we want to control this with this. Okay. So we want to control my Arduino with AC, or let's say not AC, for like AC is dangerous, more dangerous. Let's talk about a simple tube light. So I got a tube light in my home. So let's say here I want to control tube light with my Arduino, right? For what kind of things we have? We have home automations and stuff like that. So we say, okay, we need to control that. Message. We can increase brightness of phone or laptop if light is dim using LDR. Actually, you can do it. You can make a thing out of it. Yes, you can actually figure that out. But that would be not so good because it's a prototype. It's not a fresh end product. But yes, you can automate that thing actually. Definitely it can be automated. We will speak of that. That's a nice idea. We can make a project on that. That's a cool thing. Thanks, Chetan. Sure to Chetan. Okay, guys. So we have our Arduino. This is my Arduino. This is my tube light. Okay, so well, I'm just explaining that. I'm not completely explaining what is relay and why we need it. I'm just explaining that. Give me a moment. So this is the question we have, right? So we want to control tube light, we want to control everything. So every single module and every single component we have ever talked about in this series is all about DC. Okay. So in case of robotics, I've already explained that we have multiple different branches and fields. So we have only talked about electronics. Okay. So there is one more vast field which is called electrical. When we talk about 220 volts, AC currents, we talk about different loads and everything, the branch completely shifts from electronics to electrical. In our case, relay comes in between the electronics and electrical. It comes in the both ways. So again, I'm not talking about branches here. It's not a course thing, but the idea I'm going to give it to this is that for probably this solve, like we have multiple problems, right? So question is how to get this thing done, right? We know that okay, we want to do this thing, we want to do this thing, we want to connect our Arduinos, we want to make a home automation, right? So how does home automation works? We have a centralized thing, right? We have like the Arduino in this case. We have light one here. We got one more light over here, right? We got okay. We have got two lights. Let's have let's say we have a fan. Let's say we have a fan. So we got a fan. We are here. So this is the fan I have. Let's say we got fan. We got laptop charger, right? We got laptop charger over here. We got PC over here, right? A PC. Let's say we got multiple different components. We got geyser. Yeah, geyser on the cool ones. Right, we got a geyser over here, right? This is like a geyser thing, maybe like this. So this is a geyser we have. So we have so many components and we have just one art. Yeah, cool. So we have just one Arduino to actually use it thing, right? Now the question comes and question arises altogether is that what to do here, how to make this happen, how to solve this problem altogether. We have tube lights and everything. How we can control it using Arduino, and Arduino doesn't take more than 12 volts or 18 volts. That's a limit it has. It also works on DC. Giving AC to Arduino can burst it out. खराब हो जाएगा बिल्कुल खत्म, zero dead end. ठीक है. So इन सब को कंट्रोल करने के लिए, इन सब को यूज करने के लिए हमें कुछ सॉल्यूशन चाहिए था. We had to find a solution. जनरली हम कैसे कंट्रोल करते हैं? लेट्स टॉक अबाउट फैन फॉर अ व्हाइल और ट्यूबलाइट. हमें ट्यूबलाइट ऑन करनी ऑफ करनी, हम कैसे कंट्रोल करते हैं आज के टाइम पे, right? So yeah, we will make a small project on that. Small, not a big complete automation, but yeah, the small one. Don't worry, I will explain it to you how you guys. I know it's written in Chinese. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it's fine. I'll help you with that. Don't worry. I don't know Chinese, but I know how it works, so I can figure it out. Don't worry about that at all. So give me an answer. I need answer, guys, from you. What do we need for that? How do we actually control tube light these days, right? That's a question I have. We are using switch to control the tube lights, right? So for example, I have a tube light in my house. I got connection like this, okay? So like this kind of a thing. So this is the connection I have. How do actually we control it, right? If we switch it on like this, we click on it, it gets like this. It's been on, it means off. So let's say it means on, it means off. I need to improve my writing first of all. I think that's a must. All right, so let's say it's on. Yeah, cool enough. Okay, so we got these all things, right? So how we do it? We use switch, right? We use switch. So what is a switch from the core understanding of it? It's a circuit breaker. That's right. Thanks, Herschel. That's great. That's not good. That's nice. So switch is basically a circuit break. So how switch works is when we click on it, right? So it's off thing. Okay, so we have one over here, one over here. When we click on it, it goes like something like this is over here. Okay, so when you click on it, it gets attached like this, right? When we switch it off, something remains like this. It's on or off depending upon that. So for example, this is my switch kind of a thing, right? When I push it like this, it gets a contact and the circuit is complete. So what are circuits? How all circuits work all together? Let's see first that. So for example, I have an LED over here. Right, we already talked about that, but again, just for the information, getting better clearer. So we have a switch like this, right? So when we press it, so it gets okay. For example, all right. So let me get this thing done like this. Maybe. So it's my what do you call it? Cool. So when you press it, it gets switched on. So the same idea has to be brought into something automated. And we came up with the idea, okay, cool. Relay is the idea. So how is the working of relay? So relay, what actually does it? It's your, this is my relay, right? So we have something like this, right? So this is something which is relays like. right? So we got multiple things over here. We got two lights over here as well. We got VCC, right? In the middle we got ground, and over here we got in. It's the difference between AC LED and DC LED is that working on it. First of all the LEDs work on DC. That's an obvious thing. So for example, when you connect your LED with your AC, also it actually converts into DC and then works on it. But again, I guess we can make it both ways. I'm not sure about that. I don't think we can make AC LEDs. All the LEDs work on DC as far as I know. Maybe I don't know something. Maybe there's a LED which works on AC. I'm not sure about that. But the only working difference is that they work on different currents and the development is different. That's all. The production is different. Okay, so this is my like input output ground. So this is what we developed. So how it worked is like when we give. So this is the inner. Okay, I'm so sorry guys. It has to be 3 over here, not 2. That's my bad. 1, 2, 3. Cool. So what happens actually is we have a cable. So let's make a cable. So this is a big cable I have connected to this. I have one more cable and one cable connected to this, right? Okay. So Karthik is here, guys. Hey Karthik, what's up? So yeah, actually I just came to Karthik's show and like, hey Karthik, and said Karthik OP, and he's back with it. Hey Karthik, what's up? That's nice. Okay, so moving forward, we have our relay. So what happens in this case is there's a connection between the two, like this, which is there already inside it. So when I give ground, or maybe let's say it's ground altogether, this is the connection we get. When I give anything into ground, like it's 5 volts, maybe, right? When we give 5 volts, the connection changes to like this one, right? This. So when we say ground, this is the connection, and when we say 5 volts, this is the connection, right? So we get 2 connections over here. All right, so let's go this one. This is the ground one, and this is my 5 volts one. Is this thing? That's fine, Yashvi. If you got in the center, that doesn't make difference at all. It's absolutely fine. Okay, Chetan, we will see to that. If that's a problem, we will. I will get this thing sorted out. Don't worry about that. I will get this. Okay, so guys, this is ground and this is 5 volts. So when we have a connection of ground, this is what we get, and with 5 volts, this is what we get. Right? So is this thing to clear everyone that how actually relay is working? When we give 5 volts from, when we give ground from our Arduino to the relay, this is the connection we get. And when we give something else, this is the connection we get. So we get 2 different connections depending upon what is the input which is given. That's fine, Ujjwal. That's fine. Maybe someone got other, but the idea is same, right? Someone got like, this is what I have. Someone has different depending on how relay is developed. That's not the point we have to worry about, right? The idea behind relay, is that clear to everyone? Now I want you guys to think a bit. So why I want to focus so much on relay is that it was a great invention. After all, actually we can make our own relay. You can do this at your home, guys, and that's what I want. So this is something I want you to. I'm just giving as a homework. If you want, let's take it as a homework. So you want to make your own relay thing. I will tell you how to do it. We'll see to it. Okay, so this is how it's about. Okay, guys, so 5 volts and ground and stuff like that. Now moving forward, how exactly is the inner working? So what happening is this thing over here. Let me take color green. This thing over here, this little box is the brains, like not brains, I would say the magic that happens. Magic, M-A-G, relay. Okay, so how exactly it happens altogether is that in the box itself, the connection is something like this. So we got one here, one over here, and one over here. So we have something like this inside the box. A wire is coming out, okay, which just goes up till here. There is one motor in the center, okay, which is like this, and it's connected to this. When we give ground, this motor, let's say it's a servo motor, first of all, right? It moves from here to here, like this. When it moves, when given to ground, magic happens. That's the point where we start our connection changes. So for example, this is the connection number 1. It changes to connection number 2. So it's 1, 2. So when we have a ground thing, we call 1, 2. When we have ground, we get 1, 2. And when we have 5 volts, we get 1, 3. So this is whole idea behind the relay. Am I clear to everyone, guys? So we have just talked about relay as well as LDR at the same time. Okay, so is that clear to everyone? I'm hoping it's clear. Ujjwal, I won't say actually relay does not actually have a servo inside it, but the idea is like it's exactly works as servo. Maybe it's have some magnet over here which attracts to it and it moves. So it really depends on how relay is been developed, but maybe it can have that. The idea is that something is moving in it. That's the idea. Like something is going like up, down, up, down. Something is moving. When we actually work on relay, you can actually feel, or maybe you can hear that, okay, there's a movement which actually happened right now. And that's what things will be. Yes, Pradeep, we also have a electromagnet. I was just explaining that. Yeah, you can have a magnet over here as well. You can have a servo inside it. You can have anything you want inside it, depending how the relay has been developed. There's one relay. There's one also some transconductors which works on higher voltage. Again, fine, that's fine. We're not going to do that part. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm just going to talk about that right now, just now about that. So if you look at the relay part, you will see that in my relay, I've got 10 ampere on AC and 250 volts. So if you guys can see it, I don't know, you guys can. I don't think it's super clear, but yeah. If you guys can see over here, it's written actually like you got. Right, where's my pen? Where is my pen? Yeah, here it is. So we got about. In this relay, we have about 250 volts and 10 ampere. Okay, so I think anything which goes up to 10 ampere, we can have it. No, Ujjwal, relay does not contain a servo. I'm just trying to explain it to you that if you want to make your own so relay, you can do it with the help of a servo. That's what I'm trying to explain it to you. That's all. There's nothing as wireless servo. Servo needs power, so it cannot be wireless. First of all, that's obvious thing. Okay, guys. So, guys, moving forward, we have already seen all the thing, relay and everything. Now we guys like, okay, we have बहुत वो theory, कुछ practical हो, कुछ बनाया जाए अब तो नहीं. So, you guys have a homework for Tuesday. That's not actually a homework. First, I'm going to tell that. Then I'm going to move forward with it because that's something I wanted to talk about because I'm not going back to this one. So, guys, you need to make, you need to set these things up. You need to get a switch from the market like this. Okay, this is a switch from the market which comes like this. Take 2 wires out of it. Okay, we will have 2 different wires coming out of it like this. Okay, one wire should get directly connected to a bulb. Get a bulb or maybe a small LED which comes about like you get LEDs in the market, not the LEDs which we have right now, the bigger ones which you use in your house, right? Everyone has a LED in their house, maybe if not a bulb kind of LED like this. Okay, so just get that one. Connect one wire with this one. Okay, so for example, this is my bulb kind of a thing. All right, so this is my bulb kind of a thing, guys. We can get from market any way we want to. Right, so something like this. Switch is not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for a plug kind of a thing. It's a plug, not a switch. So it's a plug kind of a thing, not a switch, first of all. So you guys need to get this one done. Okay, so this is anything which works for you, Ujjwal. If you want 7 volt, go for 7. For 5 volt, go for 5. Whatever works for you, that's fine. Completely on you. That's what you guys have to do. Okay, and from that, I would say one wire is coming out from here. One is coming out from here, right? This wire should not be connected. Okay, so you guys have to make this. So, for example, when you want to switch it on, if you connect this wire, for example, you connect this wire, it will switch it on. If you again remove this wire, like this, if I remove it, it will switch it off. So I don't want you guys to connect this wire. This wire will be using our relay to actually control it. So in the next class, not in this class, we'll not actually make in this class because I want you to make this thing. It's a more simple thing which you guys can actually control using a relay. A simple bulb or LED, 7 watt, 5 watt, 12 watt, whatever what you guys want to, you can go and buy that thing from the market. So it's a bulb holder kind of a thing which comes up, a small wire, a good wire, I would say, a better quality wire, which I burned up. This is the plug. So this plugs will go into your socket. Remember one thing, when you're actually working with this thing, it is AC, and again I'm recommending please switch it off when you're working on it. Again, I'll tell you when it will happen. Chetan, don't go to Amazon, get to nearby market, anywhere it can be bought. It's nothing which is unique. It is just a bulb thing you might have in your home. So you don't actually have to go anywhere and purchase it. It's absolutely simple thing. You might have it in your home. That's why it's not on the list, and that's why you don't have to go to Amazon. So it's an AC. Again, I'm saying ask your parents to be next to you. Switch off the socket when working through it. Don't test it after when the class started. I will explain you how you have to test it and everything I will explain in the class itself. Don't play with AC. Don't play with AC. I'm giving you as much bold eye as actually I can get. This is my highlighter. It's not that good actually. Can I increase the size? That's good. Possible. No, it's not possible. Weird. Okay, again you get the idea, right? So don't play with AC. It is a highlighter I'm using. So never ever play with AC. I'm absolutely clear, guys. No AC playing. I could not emphasize this anymore on this. Like it's a done thing now. Okay, guys. So now we have already talked about that. Okay, sir, I am having a really good experience with AC current, so I will not do it. What? You're having good experience and you're not doing it, like. It's fine. Like it won't be that much risky, first of all. Like, okay. Okay, Chetan, I will share the Amazon link with you. Don't have to worry about that. No, this is the homework, man, guys. It's not a homework. This is what is requirement for the next class. This is a prerequisite. Let's say prerequisite. That's what it's about. It's not a homework. It's a prerequisite for the next class. Okay, I will try to explain in Hindi as well. So मैं कह रहा हूँ कि हम प्लग का यूज करेंगे जिसके थ्रू हम एक बल्ब होल्डर पे हम वायर कनेक्ट करेंगे. यहाँ पे एक वायर और जाएगी जो बहुत सिंपल सी वायर बाहर आएगी. यहाँ से एक वायर और बाहर आएगी. यहाँ पे हम बल्ब को ले रहे हैं, राइट? सो वी हैव अ बल्ब विद अस. सो बल्ब हो, एलईडी हो, 5 वोल्ट 7 वोल्ट की मिल जाएगी आराम से मार्केट में. हम उसका यूज करेंगे. दिस इज व्हाट यू गाइस हैव टू मेक फॉर लाइक बिफोर द नेक्स्ट क्लास, बिकॉज क्लास में ये चीज बनाना पॉसिबल नहीं होगा. तुम्हें कुछ खास काम नहीं करना. ओके, यू जस्ट हैव टू गेट योर प्लग फ्रॉम द मार्केट. दैट्स ऑल. अ वायर जो बहुत सस्ती आराम से मिल जाएगी, उसको यहाँ से खोलना, उसमें स्क्रूज होंगे, स्क्रूज को खोल लेना, राइट? यू गाइस हैव अ स्क्रू ड्राइवर लाइक दिस, मे बी. उसको खोल लेना आराम से. तभी स्क्रू ड्राइवर को मंगवाया था मैंने. उसको स्क्रूज को खोल लेना, उसके अंदर वायर लगाना, उसको बंद कर देना. आस्क योर पेरेंट्स टू हेल्प यू डू दिस थिंग, or maybe in the next class I will try to do it in the class itself, but you might not be able to follow with me in the class. That's why I'm asking you to do in the like beforehand in the as a homework, guys. That's all. ठीक है? सिद्धार्थ, हिंदी में भी हो गया. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Any wire, copper wire would work. Usually you don't have to get up expensive wires. Havels की आती है छोटी सी, मतलब एक वायर ले लो, मिल जाएगी आराम से मार्केट में. कोई इतना बड़ा इशू नहीं है. वायर्स काफी लोग घर में होंगी, जब कंस्ट्रक्शन हुई होगी तो कुछ बच भी गई होंगी वायर्स, तो हो जाएगा. Okay. No experiment AC. Thank you, Aryan, for the information. उसने ट्राई किया, 3D एक्सपेरिमेंट ट्राई, तो 3 एक्सपेरिमेंट ट्राई किया था, और फिर बूम जो घर में हुआ. तो nothing like that. Don't do it. रिबन वायर हम यूज कर सकते हैं. Yes, definitely ribbon can be used. Yeah, definitely. We can. No ribbon wire. So sorry. नहीं. पार्थ ribbon wire यूज नहीं कर सकते. ribbon wire बहुत पतली होती है और उससे दिक्कत हो जाएगी. No ribbon wires. Thank you, Aryan, for sharing the information of your experiment with us. That's fun. Great. So yeah, most of people will have it at home, so no, not a worry. Yeah, it must be scary. I'm damn sure about that. Even if okay, in another class, I also talk about my experience with AC. I had a really bad experience with AC in the when I was in class 8th or 9th. I don't remember the year which was there, but yeah, I also had a bad experience in the kids. And the fun part was for during Diwali time. So my house was under construction. I will talk about that in the class later on sessions. Okay, we'll not talk about right now, but I will share my experience with you guys for that part as well. Now we are moving forward. So yeah, definitely. I will share with you what happened. Okay, I will definitely want to share with you. I was in the early classes, it was 6 or 7 maybe. In the later classes, I will share with you. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, so let's go with webcam.py. Okay, guys, so we have it right over here. Let me see. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Okay, guys. So moving forward, this is my relay. Okay, this is my relay. This is my LDR. So not no LDRs right now. So let's talk about the relay. Let's plug this thing up. Okay, guys. So let's have the connection set up. Over here, I'm giving a ground. We got a VCC over here. The first one is my VCC. Let's give VCC to this one right over here. Let's get to the ground part. Let's say the ground. My ground is in the middle. Your ground maybe somewhere else. So that's fine. So let's get to the ground part. It's good, right? So as you can see, when you connect those two things up, you get the light part. Okay, when you connect your ground as well your VCC, you get the light on. Now I'm going forward with my. It's in, right? So we'll go for that. So this is really loose cable I have with me over here. So let me get another one. All right. So I got many cables. Let me change the color first of all because you might get confused with that. I think red one works good. So red one works good. So I'm changing it up. Okay, guys. So I'm just saying red one is my 5 volts. That's more intuitive, I would say, because that's the usual conditions. We have red as a 5 volts. But red is like live fire. So let's go with that one. Have this one. Yeah, it's working. So now connecting my what do you call it? This is my in, right? In the top, this is my in. The gray one is my int. So gray, okay, we got gray one is my in, right? In wire. So I'm just connected to the ground and see that. Got it? Did you guys hear a sound pops on? Up, like I will remove it. So I can also connect it over here and show you guys. Can you guys hear the pop sound which is coming up? I'm sure you guys can. I don't know, like this camera over here, maybe like this. Yeah. Okay. So I'm having a different kind of relay. It's having screws on both sides of for AC as well as for DC. Okay, Ujjwal, that should not be a problem at all. Let me figure it out this one. So what we can do in that case, Ujjwal, is just unplug it and just attach. That's the only way I have for you. So that's fine. Just if you got something like this, not have to worry about. Just use it like this. You move it like this. Okay, plug it in, close it back. Like that's the only thing which I can sound. Exactly, Chetan. That's the sound of a switch, which I was talking about, which you get from relay. So it's having an inbuilt switch, which is controlled using our what do you call it? Our Arduino, right? So we can control this thing with our Arduino. So when we move the switch, we have the connection over here. It removes, out, removes, out, removes. So that's how it happens. So let's see through it and let's see through our multimeter. I have a multimeter with me. Okay, guys. So it's got really dirty. I've not used it for a while. I guess that's why it's got dirty. Cleaned up. Yeah, good. So we have my multimeter with me. Let's set the thing up. Guys, so you guys can see the multimeter first of all. I'm sure you guys can see the multimeter. Cool. So you guys can see the multimeter. Okay, I think it's better if I don't have a light with the multimeter. Maybe let's switch off the light. Okay, that's better now. All right. So okay, let me see. So this is good. Yeah, this is good. This is good for you guys. You can see it easily. Okay, guys. So when I have not connected this wire, the ground wire, okay, and I see through it like this. This is I have no connection through this one. If I get connected over here, I get a beep sound. So like, right. So what does that mean is when we have no connection, like we don't give a input to N1. Okay, we don't give ground to our N wire. We get connection like this. What connection we get? We get something like this. So this is the connection we get when we don't give in, right? So this is what I'm getting. You guys might get something else, right? You guys might get something else when you don't give the in value, right? So when I connect it with this one, let's connect this one. Now when green light switched on, I get connection from here. I don't get it from here or here. I get it from here. So as you can see, we get connection depending upon what we are doing. So when we give ground, the connection switches. When we don't give ground, connection switches. And that's the idea behind the relay. So now what you can do with relay, it's absolutely on you. So maybe you can give one wire inside this one. Okay, you get one wire inside the center one. Okay, it's better now. Yeah. So give one wire inside this one and one inside this one. So you get one connection, you get one another connection over here. Yes, you guys have a different multimeter. Mine is slightly bit expensive. I have already asked you guys, so it works same. So you just have to set it on this Wi-Fi like looking thing, sort of Wi-Fi sound, but yeah, call it a Wi-Fi like looking thing and connect to that one. Okay, connection of relay again, Aryan, that's fine. So you have your okay, I'm going with the wrong one. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So connection is pretty much simple. Aryan, what you have to do is you have to just connect your 5 volts and the ground with it, and you get your in cable with it, right? So this is my in one. I go with this one and connect it to the ground. When I connect to the ground, I see a connection. Right when I don't connect to anything else, it is like this only. When I say like this one, I get a connection like this. When I don't connect it with it, and when I connect to the ground, my connection changes. So I connect to the ground, green light's open, and this is the connection I get. Right? So this is the idea. Like we have two different connections, which I've already explained in the whole lecture thing. Okay. What is the line behind the module? Which line behind the module? They are not able to get to you. Actually, I'm not able to understand. Great. So everyone, I think, yeah, every relay works fine. I think that's the basic understanding everyone got. So relay works fine with you guys. Okay, guys, so this is what we have, a relay with us. We got set up everything. So this is the whole setup for our simple basic relay, right? So relay is good, right? Oh, Siddharth, you have to actually go through all the thing and watch the video again. I've explained relay, what is relay, pretty much clearly and explained multiple times. So that's I think pretty much clear. So you might have to watch it again if you have just joined us. I'm so sorry, sir, I'm not able to get it to you. Hey, how are you? Hey. So I guess we have less time. Should we move forward with our this thing, right? This one, our LDR. So guys, I think we're good with the relay part, right? So we got the idea what relay is about, how it's done, and stuff like that. I'm not telling the name of the keyboard. That would be giving a promotion. I don't want to give promotion on this channel. That would be wrong. So I can give you a Discord. If you message me Discord, I'll let you know. That's fine. Should I tell them on Discord? Or maybe here? I don't know. Ujjwal, when you click on ground, okay, I'm just giving a quick explanation again. Many people have a doubt with the relays part. Okay, fine. Just a quick one again. Okay, I have one in over here, and one over here. Okay. So when you switch it on like this, when you remove it, enter it, you get a sound, right? I'm getting a sound. I think you also get a sound. That's a switch sound. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's remove this thing off. First of all, let's. Oh, cool. That's why you were asking for the keyboard. Okay, I didn't saw the keyboard. I was looking at it. Okay, cool. Okay, guys. So I think we're good with the relay part. Let's keep the relay aside, and we will use the thing the next time. Now we'll talk about our LDR. So let's connect the LDR first of all. Okay. So let me see how it should be connected with it. Let's connect the 5 volts first here. You got 5 volts with me. So we have VCC over here. Let's connect the 5 volts with it. That's good. 5 volts is good. Now I'm connecting my digital with it. So let's go with digital one. So first let's connect the ground one. Okay, digital can be connected later on maybe. So let's get it done. This ground thing first of all it does, and it should be up. Yeah. So as you can see, when there's a light, okay, when there's a light to it, it gets switched on, both things. When I remove the light part, so for example, this is the light part, I remove it. So I just say, okay, no lights. Again, it switches off. Light, so light, no light. Hide the light, no light. So it just works anything. For example, if I bring something in front of it, it again switches light because that's the light where it's getting from. So for example, I keep it under this one, maybe it gets still getting light. So if I go like, it's no lights, so it works like this. So the idea is when it gets no light, it works. It gets light, it doesn't work. That's the whole idea. You can also change it depending upon what you need. So for example, I can change the whole thing. So I can just rotate this one first of all and say, okay, Now if I get this thing done, so it doesn't get switched on me, it needs a lot of light to actually get this thing switched on. So for example, do I have something over? Yeah, I got my phone with me. So let's just give a flashlight to it and see. Yeah, you can see when I give so much light, it gets the both things switched on. I think you guys can see this or not. Okay, I got it out. So Aaron, actually I've not used the input right of now. I'm just using my 5 volts on the ground to explain it to you guys. In pin is exactly as same as the previous IR sensors. It's nothing new, so it doesn't have to work on that part. That's fine. Okay, you don't have to use that. I use Linux most of the times. Yeah, cool. Now let's move forward. So as you can see, when it's getting so much light, it's not switching on because I have moved the potentiometer according to my needs. It only gets switched on. It only gives value, first of all, I'd say, when it has so much light, like this one. When I have extreme light, you get the value. No light, light, no light. Okay, I think, yeah, it's good. So you can see, no light, light, no light. So this is the idea behind your LDR module. So some people might not have two LEDs, some have one, because I used to have one in the previous. I just bought the new one for this lecture after all. So that's the idea behind LDR and everything. You're not getting text sound in your relay. Okay, that's weird, but I think relay is working. Check through your multimeter. It's working or not. I think it's working. I'm pretty sure it's working. So you don't have to worry about that. There are no connection of absolutely right. That's the idea. But again, you can also reverse it. That you can also say when I increase the flashlight, the connectivity decreases because you can also make that one as well. So that's fine. I have not done any connection. I've just attached two things. One is ground and one is 5 volts. That's all. I've not done anything else. Which board name you're talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. You should actually change your name first of all. I don't think I will coming up with this name. So change your name first of all. Yes, that's the connection as of now. Yeah, absolutely, that's the connection. Yeah, I got two lights, so you also have two lights. So you just move it a bit like this, okay? So depending upon how much better you want it, like for example, I move it a bit like this, like this, like this. Okay, so when I move it completely, I cannot switch it off even if I get like zero light because that's really low conductivity. So I just change it a bit like this. Now it's better, right? So it's better now. So depending upon how you need, you can actually work on that part. So a ground has to be connected with a Wi-Fi symbol. It's not a Wi-Fi symbol. What you actually guys getting is this. It's not a Wi-Fi symbol, guys. I tell you what it's about. So what you guys have something like this. I'm pretty sure. So you guys have a connection like this. Okay. So you got something like this. VCC. This is your 5 volts, right? This is your common ground. This is not a Wi-Fi symbol. It's a ground symbol like this. Okay. So it's your ground. And actually I have not used my pin with DO, which is your digital input pin. Okay, it's a digital output pin. We call it digital output pin. That's what we call it. Okay, so that's all. Vaporfly actually, I did give a list of all the required items, and everyone has bought it. But if you have not, you can just go and bought that item. That's absolutely fine. So these are all the requirements I've already given on the list, right? So I don't think there should be a problem at all. I think that's clear, right? Okay, guys. So I think this thing is pretty much clear to everyone. So just for the introduction part, I'm just going to the coding part as of now. Okay, so I guess I already explained this thing in the IR module also. Again, I'm telling you guys, in the potentiometer, I can change the conductivity. When I increases or decreases depending upon what I need, what are my requirements. If I need to say, okay, more light means on and this amount of light means off, we can set that. We can also say, okay, a slight amount of light also is on and no light absolutely is off, like completely dark. So we can set and move a potentiometer depending on what we need, and we can set it to that. You get two lights, maybe that's why it's not working like that. So maybe you're working on a very dim area, so maybe try some flashlights and then work through it. I am pretty sure it will work fine. Okay guys, so that's fine. That's fine, don't worry about that, that's absolutely fine. Rather than just post it out, maybe I can just get it done and maybe someone else hasn't seen it. Okay guys, so okay guys, so let's move forward and let's program a little bit and see what output we get from the whole thing. Okay, so let's take this thing up. Okay, I'm connected my ground like D0 to 8 pin number 8. Okay, so that's what I'm doing for now. Okay, this board first of all. Okay, guys, this board. Let's start the program. Okay, so let's start my Arduino. The Arduino is loading. Guys, it's loading. It's loading. Yeah, so change your name first of all. It's not a good name. I cannot call your name. So just change your name and then come back and we'll talk. Okay, guys. So this is the old code. I just remove this thing first of all. This is how to move. Let's move. Okay, let's have this thing. Let's have it, and let's do serial.read. I think this will have to change as well. Street pin. Okay. What do you call it? Let's say input pin. Okay, guys, my bad. Sorry. Let me change the whole thing first of all. Let me start the new one. Okay. All right. Okay, my bad. Something got bad. Okay. Oh no, something got bad. Yeah, good enough. Sorry guys, something has gone extremely weirdly bad. I think this is what we need. No, this one is not what we need. Okay, weird output. Anyhow, I'll fix that thing later. Anyhow, guys, let's set this thing up. Okay, so let's start a serial dot begin. Let's see the output together. We got set to 9600. We set it to digital read, right? So we have pin number 8 with us. So we go with 8 comma. That's all. Let's come on with that. Okay, we get this, right? We just say serial dot right. Okay. We set pin number 8 and let's set the delay of, let's see, the 100. So this is what I'm doing only for testing purposes. Actually, you know how my LDR is working. It's giving 0, 1. So in the next class we can just code on it. Okay, I would say I think that's pretty much all. Let's wait for the code. All right, so I think it's getting refined. All right. It's done. Oh, forgot this one. Alright, so pin mode. I'm so sorry guys, I just forgot this one. Let's set it to 8 comma input. Yeah. Now let's compile it again and let's upload it first of all. Okay. Okay, it's my bad. I'm not still bored. Oh, just so much less time is left. Okay. Oh, we still got a couple of minutes. Okay, so let's see it all. First of all. My bad. I think should we read? Oh no. It's not running. It's running fine. I don't know. I don't really know output of it. That's kind of a weird thing. Before. Okay, I'm getting an output which is not something it should be. Let's set this thing to like this, maybe. Int I is equal to digital read. Let's get it to A. Okay, and that's it. I1. Okay. All right. What happened? Oh, my bad. Yeah. All right. Sorry. But sorry, guys. No right. Just say println. My bad. Sorry, guys. Right was something else, and I got confused. Anyhow. So I think it's not done. It's not uploaded yet. Maybe let's see if it's uploading or not. Sorry, guys. So sorry. All right. So we're getting 0 out of it first of all. Okay. When I just make it dark, we get 1, 0, and 1. So it works exactly same as IR module, right? Sorry, part. Right is something else. Actually, I was working with some other technology, so I just got confused with that. Right and print. Okay, fine. That happens sometimes. It's fine. So when you know multiple languages, you get confused with that. So actually, write is also there. It's called serial write, which is used in some different scenarios. Okay, if you want, I can just share with you what serial write exactly means. Give me a moment for that. So it's more of a buffer thing. Let's talk about the next class. Okay, I think it will require a lot of time to explain that serial write thing. So let's not talk about the thing. But yeah, serial write is nothing more, but it's just giving out a binary data instead of decimal data. So when we talk about binary data, we use serial write. So again, it's a binary kind of a thing. When we talk about binary, we talk about serial write and stuff like that. So that's pretty much all about the serial write thing. Okay, guys. So I think that's all. We have talked about this one, and this one. In the next class, get to your homework or what you have done. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk about the. Okay. Let's talk 5 more minutes and let's see. I think it's good with it today. We're good with the whole thing. It was simple lecture today. So let's talk about the experience I was sharing with you guys of the AC. So you guys don't play with AC at all. So I was young. I was in maybe 6th or 7th. I'm not sure. Maybe in 8th, 9th. I'm not sure exactly, but I was extremely young. So what happened was, yeah, I know. I'm just sharing my experience. Okay, I will show the output again. If you want to show. So this is the output. I'm getting it's 0. It's something. It's 1, 0, and 1. So depending on how I'm doing it, let me share my webcam as well with you guys so you know it better. All right, so this is my webcam. So when I just click on over here, I give the dim light. It goes 1. It's 0. It's 1. So it may be reverse for you guys. So that's fine. Okay, so let me switch to turn off. Okay, so done. Okay, sure. We can see to that as well, buddy. So I was talking about my experience. So when I was young, I was playing with the house was under construction. My house was under construction. It was working. Everything was taken into consideration. So there were a lot of wires out of there everywhere. All the plugs were coming up. So I just got a hang of one wire. And that's the latest stage. What happened was I got a cell with me. This is what you can do at your home if you want to. Get a cell, small cell, and connect one wire from one side and another from the other side, and just connect it together. When you connect it together, you will see a spark and the cell will get diffused quickly. It's a short circuit. That's what we call a short circuit. So what I did was I just did this couple of times, and the smoke was coming out. I was like, yes, that's a cool thing. बहुत सही चीज है. दशहरा चल रहा है. तो मतलब रावण बनाने का प्लान होता है सबका कि रावण बनाएंगे and stuff like that. So I was also having the same idea. Let's make a Ravan kind of a thing. So I got this thing, new crazy thing with me. I got this. When I connect the two things, it just gives a lot of smoke. So I was like, cool. Cell में smoke निकल रही है, current ज़्यादा होता नहीं है. So that's a fine thing. So smoke से निकल रही थी. मैंने कहा चलो रावण सा बनाया, उसके पीछे लगा दूंगा, connect कर दूंगा. So smoke से निकली एकदम बढ़िया. मैंने कहा बहुत सारे cell ले आता हूँ, try करता हूँ. So I get a lot of cells with me. And I connected all those cells in short circuit there. Smoke nikli, थोड़ा सा हाथ में current भी लगा, but yeah, smoke was good. So it was a fun thing with the cell. Later on, I got a big wire with me. मतलब wire पड़ी हुई थी, घर काम चल रहा था. मैंने wire ली, मैंने कहा cell से निकल रही है, हाँ तो बहुत ज़्यादा wire है. मैंने एक wire को एक plug में लगाया, दूसरे को दूसरे plug में लगाया और on कर दिया. अब मेरे हाथ में live wire है on. मैंने आपस में connect करा और धुआं और बम. थोड़ी फायर हुई, वहां पे स्पार्क हुआ, घर की पूरी लाइट ऑफ. घर डेड, मतलब पूरी पूरी घर की लाइट चली गई और पूरे की पूरी घर मेरा लाइट से लाइक कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रही है और फायर लग गई, मतलब थोड़ी थोड़ी बहुत, ठीक है वो बुझा दी बाद में। सो इट वाज अ क्रेजी थिंग। ज्यादा फायर नहीं लगी, बच गया सब कुछ बिकॉज वायर वाज गुड, कनेक्शन वाज फाइन। सो या अब हुआ क्या, उस टाइम पे करने पे ना पटाखा बोला है कि पट कैसे हुआ, लाइक पता है पटाखा, लाइक मैंने बोल दिवाली के थोड़े पटाखे होते हैं उस टाइप से पटाखा आया। सो जब वो पटाखा बजा ना, मुझे लगा यार ये तो दिवाली में काम आ सकता है। अब मुझे समझ नहीं आया था कि घर की लाइट मेरी वजह से गया, वो एक्सट्रीमली यंग, तो मुझे लगा घर की लाइट चली गई, पटाखा भी हो गया। मैंने कहा दिवाली पे ऐसी करेंगे, वायर लेंगे और घर के बाहर लेके टक 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 करेंगे, पटाखे बजेंगे, दबा दब दबा दब, लड़ी की जरूरत ही नहीं है, कुछ नहीं चाहिए, दिवाली पे ये जाएगा। सो प्लान ये था। अब उसके बाद मैंने करा, मैंने बताया कि मैंने कुछ तरीका ढूंढा, पर हम दिवाली पटाखे नहीं लेंगे, मेरे पास आइडिया, हम बिना पटाखे काम कर लेंगे। आई टोल्ड माय डैड एंड स्टफ, कहते ठीक है कर लो जो भी करना है। उन्हें पूछा नहीं तुम क्या करोगे। सो घर की लाइट चली गई, इलेक्ट्रिशियन आया, इलेक्ट्रिशियन ऑलरेडी आया हुआ था, कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रही थी, पता नहीं क्या हुआ, शॉर्ट सर्किट हो गया होगा, हो जाता है कंस्ट्रक्शन के बीच में, कहीं पानी गिर गया कुछ हो गया, तो उसको लगा नॉर्मल शॉर्ट, उसको नहीं पता कि मैंने कुछ करा। बाद में मैंने सेम एक्सपेरिमेंट दोबारा करा। मैं गया, मेरे को पट 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 कर रहा हूँ, स्पार्क हो रहा है, मेरे को पट 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 पटाखे हो रहे हैं, और फिर दो, वो बहुत बुरा था। इट वाज अ डेड एंड। सब आए, व्हाट हैपेंड, क्या हुआ पूछने लगे। फिर देखा नलिन छोटा सा बैठा हुआ है और लाइव वायर से खेल रहे हैं। अगर वो थोड़ा और ऊपर नीचे हो जाता, that could have been worst case scenario with me, like, so don't do it guys, like it was just a small story I will tell you. Don't do it, that's extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous, could be lethal. Don't do it. First of all, never actually play with AC. I had no idea about that, no one told me that, I'm telling you, so don't do it. That's all, like, that's all. So it was a fun thing. It was not a fun thing, I would say. It was an extremely dangerous thing. It's not a fun thing, but it was an experience which I think you guys should have. So if that wire would have been little more either left or right, it would be dangerous. But yeah, nowadays we have with us, like, we, before the days before, not in my time, before my parents' time, we used to have something which is called now we have MCBs, right? उससे पहले MCB नहीं होती थी, सिंपल वायर होती थी। उसको I guess क्या, I forgot the name which has been called, but वो name वो है legal. We'll talk about that in next class. We'll talk about that. We will talk about. I will share one more experience with you guys. Not like my experience. I will share something more in the next class. We will talk about like this. Cool, मतलब मजा आएगा, सही होगा। So वो बताऊँ उसके बारे में कि अब हमारे घर में कैसी सेफ्टीज होती है। पहले फ्यूज, थैंक्स चेतन, फ्यूज द वर्ड, आई फॉरगॉट द वर्ड फ्यूज। पहले फ्यूज होते थे, फ्यूज नहीं होता, MCB होती है। We will talk about that. Anyhow, we will see to that. No, no, these are not professional. I'm not a professional playing with electricity, guys. That's not safe. No professionals. No electricity playing at all. No AC playing. Didn't. No, no, nothing. Okay, so that's all, guys. It stopped working. I think the connection might be loose. Just try it again. I think that should not stop working. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay. Thank you so much for enjoying this one. Okay, guys, so that's all for today. Thank you very much. Let's have a drum roll and exit the class. Alexa, drum roll, please.
Okay.
Bye bye. See ya. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Share with everyone. Let them know about my channel. Like, let them know about Coding Blocks Junior. Let's talk about more stuff. And let's see. Sayonara, bye bye. Don't forget to get it done. This is what I have to get it done. Don't forget that. Because next class में कुछ हो नहीं पाएगा फिर. ये करना है, ये बनाना है. Okay, just take a screenshot right now. Get it done. That's all. Thank you so much. Bye bye. See ya.